something that never gets talked about. Even in the published science, it rarely gets talked about. And even if you buy a thick training manual from a reliable resource, they rarely talk about this, which is repetition speed. What usually gets prescribed is repetition range, and they'll say, gosh, you should do, for chest press, you should do a weight that lets you to do 6 to 12 reps. And then different muscle groups, different rep ranges. So we see programs with rep ranges, right? Do 10, do 12, do 15, do 30, whatever it is. And so what's exceedingly more important than how many reps you do is the speed that you move at and your time under load. And so speed of movement is just how long does it take to lift the weight, how long does it take to lower it. How many of you has anyone ever talked to you about this before? Okay. What's your name?
Cindy.
Cindy is an advanced student. Artie's got a bunch of correct answers here. So Cindy, who has said something to you about repetition speed? Do you remember?
College coach.
College coach, okay.
Long time ago.
Good college coach, good college coach. So, but it's true that what usually is recommended is a weight, take 80 pounds, do it 10 times, do it for 3 sets, come back 3 days later, we'll do it again. But there's no acknowledgement of repetition speed. And so what I'm going to suggest to you that is possibly the single most important thing on the exercise is how fast you're moving. And why would I say that? Here's a good example. If I'm going to do a push-up, right? And if I do, let's say I do 3 push-ups. Here's 1, 2, 3. Now, am I working to do that? Is there work there? There's muscle contraction, right? There's fatigue, correct?
Yeah.
But, so that gets recorded as 3 push-ups, right? If I'm tracking it for my coach and my trainer, I did 3 push-ups, coach. Oh, good, excellent. Well, next time we'll do 4. Now, what about the guy that does this? He does a push-up like this. And he does 3 reps like this. He touches his nose, comes up like this. Now, if he does 3 reps like this and he logs that, he also says it's 3 reps. Are those exercises the same? Completely different, completely different, yeah. So repetition cadence is exceedingly important because it determines the intensity of exercise. That one push-up I did was much harder than those 3. You'd say, well, Joe did 3, Richard did 1. Joe's getting a better training stimulus than Richard. Completely wrong, completely wrong. So that gets glossed over in a lot of the literature. And so what I'm going to tell you here tonight is move slow. And so when I say slow, what do I mean? Well, we have special equipment that we use, and you're not going to be able to access it in the fitness center. So what I would suggest for you is a repetition cadence of about 3 to 5 seconds up, 3 to 5 seconds down. Now that's going to look really slow compared to your colleagues if you go to any fitness center in a Tri-Cities area. What are you going to see for rep speed from most people? What would you guess?
Probably faster.
Yeah, probably a 1-1. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me, I'm going really fast.
Yeah, right. It is like it's a contest to go faster,
Yeah.
right? And then as they fatigue, what happens? They go even faster, right? As if it's a contest. Now, if someone's paying you to do reps, I'll say go fast. Yes, if you get $1,000 for getting 10, go as fast as you can. Make sure you get 10. But if no one's paying you to work out, you want to look at the quality of the movement, not how many reps I'm doing, because we just saw that rep count is irrelevant. What matters is the cadence and what we call the time under load. How long was the muscle under tension for? If it's under tension for 4 seconds, there's a stimulus, but it's under tension for 70 seconds, that's more stress to the muscle than 4 seconds. And so you can do fewer reps and produce more stress to the muscular system. We call that the training stimulus. Generate more stress, get a better response because the response is linked to the stimulus, right? Your body only responds to the magnitude of the stress. If there's no stress, your body stays the same. If I stress a tissue, particularly skeletal muscle, it adapts. That's called the training response. And so your 1 rep can be more stressful than 20 reps over here if this is fast and sloppy versus 1 really hard rep. So the time under load matters. And so just to give you a general idea, if you're doing an exercise and you're going up, let's just use 4-4 for simplicity in our brains. If you're going up in 4 seconds, down in 4 seconds, that's a great speed. So what is that, 8 seconds per rep? Let's do 5, that's easier math. So 5 up, 5 down. And so 10 seconds per rep, right? In a minute, you'll do 6 reps. In a minute and a half, you'll do 9 reps. So that's a great speed too, 5, 5, 4, 4, they're all good. But they're much slower than what's typically happening, which is a 1, 1, if that. And so what I would prescribe is a weight that allows you to fail somewhere between a minute and a half to 2 minutes. And so if you're doing a 5, 5, what is that? That is, well, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 12 reps, right? It's 12 reps for 2 minutes. So hitting that failure or near failure somewhere between 6, well, we say 8 to 12 is how we approach it for the 5, 5, yeah. So 8 to 12. What I'm suggesting is a training duration that lasts about a minute 20 to 2 minutes, that general zone. That is where you want to be finishing the exercise, as much fatigue as you can tolerate or going straight to muscle failure, okay? It gives you some context for how long the exercise should last, and that can then get translated into a repetition range based on your actual speed. So, yes, sir.
So if you're doing muscle, you go into muscle failure, but say you only do it in 4 reps, then you should lower the weight.
How fast are those reps? Yeah.
Let's say you're doing it at 4 or 5.
Yes, I would increase the time under load, correct. I would at least try to get past a minute.
Okay.
Correct, that's a good question, right. And so for time under load, right, at least try to get past a minute. And some of that has to do with safety and efficiency as well. So if I'm doing a weight that has me failing at 3.5 reps, and I would do this with my client. In fact, I did that with someone, like they just did 3.5 reps at a 10-10 speed is what we do. I said, that weight is too heavy for you, let's lighten it, let's increase the volume a little bit, have you fatiguing, i.e. failing a little later on, yeah. So a little more time under load, a few more reps, yeah, lighten the weight, absolutely. So again, very uncommon, very counterintuitive. Nobody says, Coach, what should I do for my time under load? What should my rep cadence be? Nobody talks about this stuff. This is like non-existent in sports these days. So you're with me so far? Go slow. Now, what is the other sort of hidden benefit? Yes, I'm telling you that if you slow down, a lighter weight is harder, right? I didn't change my body weight. You know, I'm 185 pounds. I did not change my body weight. That slow push-up was harder just because I slowed down. I didn't change the weight at all. So what is the other sort of hidden benefit to slowing down repetition cadence, slow speed a little bit? What is the hidden benefit that really every American, every human needs to be concerned about? It's only about 1 million times safer on your body. That's all. So think about the injury rates of strength training today. I mean, there are tens of thousands of injuries every year that end up in emergency rooms because people hurt themselves lifting weights, doing crazy things. And so if you can make your strength workout safer, that's a victory. Our attitude at MEDFITNESS is at 0 collateral damage, we call it. You know how people sometimes they'll say to their neighbor, oh man, I had a really good workout today. My shoulder is sore, my back is stiff. Well, why are you working out if that's what it's leading to? Short shoulders and stiff backs. I mean, that is ridiculous. You should have no collateral damage. This is exercise medicine. We're not guessing at this, guys. This is not like saying, I want to play a sport that I like, and I love it, but there's risks in that sport. This is prescribed exercise medicine. So the precision is high, it's very specific. The collateral damage should be 0. You should go strength train and say, this is one of the safest things I do all week, because it is very controlled, very measured, very deliberate, very specific. It's unbelievably safe. And so we call that no collateral damage. It's just a concept in our society where collateral damage it's the price you pay for being healthy. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. It's the price you pay for being active.